Season three starts not exactly where we left off. Years later, it's been a little bit rockier, a little bit,
Your guess is as good as theirs
yeah,
about what their status is.
yeah. Always a
Mhm.
little on and off again, on and off again, on and
Just
off again.
complicated as ever.
Laurel is at this season an empty nester and she's, reevaluating her life and her relationships and where she's at now that her kids aren't in the house.
That don't look at Adam as an example of what you should do in life. Or you could look at Adam and say, hey, everybody's human and everybody makes mistakes.
Hi, Jackie. Hi, Tom.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Audrey Grace from Fimela, Indonesia. Hi. Hi,
Pleasure to meet
Chung.
you.
Hi, Ray. Thank you so much. And it's so lovely to meet you both.
It's nice to meet
Lovely to
you.
meet you as well.
So let's get into it.
I think that I think Stephen learns a lot. I think it's a big season of change, and I think that uh he goes through kind of like a life altering situation, and I think it really focuses him on what he wants to do in life and what he's passionate about. And I think that he learns that stuff that he once thought that he was interested in and stuff that he thought he liked was really not what the end goal was, and not what he wanted. And I think that that's just part of growing up, kind of, you know?
So true. Yeah, so true. I think, I mean, there's a time jump,
Yeah.
right? Like this season. So, Taylor's a junior in college, and that alone, I think there's so much change in that time. And also like we get to meet her mom for the first time, which is really exciting. So we get to see where Taylor comes from and how she grew up. Yeah, she's sort of figuring out like how much do I go do my own thing versus how much do I help my mom?
I hope that younger viewers see that as you mature and age, that
Mhm.
um, there's still room for change and still room for growth. That even though it feels like in your youth and maybe your early 20s, you have to figure things out, but nothing is permanent. And Laurel is at this season an empty nester and she's, reevaluating her life and her relationships and where she's at now that her kids aren't in the house.
As an adult in the show, as someone who has kids in their 20s, I feel like, that don't look at Adam as an example of what you should do in life. Or you could look at Adam and say, hey, everybody's human and everybody makes mistakes, and it's never too late to repair your relationships, especially with your kids. As a young person, you should just follow your heart and try different things. And, I wish I had told myself that when I was younger,
Same.
that, this isn't everything, that things will change and yeah, to not worry so much.
I do think that's important that parents also make mistakes because I also
Mhm.
have kids.
Yes,
And we don't have it all figured out.
true.
I don't know. I think that's something that you gotta wait to watch. I will say that I think uh it season three starts not exactly where we left off for Stephen and
Ah,
Taylor
No,
season
it's
two.
years later.
Yeah. It's
Um,
years later. It's been a little bit rockier, a little bit,
your guess is as good as theirs
yeah,
about what their status is.
yeah. Always a
mhm.
little on and off again, on and off again, on and
Just
off again.
complicated as ever.
Complicated. So I think I don't know. I think fans will be really excited to see where what happens to Stephen and Taylor in season three.
Totally. Yeah, nothing is set in stone.
No,
Yeah.
no, we don't even know what happens yet.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
haven't read it yet.
No, I have, yeah. I haven't watched it. I don't know.
I think for Laurel, it's really important to be a beacon for all of the kids,
Mhm.
Mm.
to be there for her own kids because that was a loss, a big loss for them too. Like especially with Belly, she had a very special relationship with Susanna. But As I mentioned before, I think Laurel really wants to also be there for Jeremiah and Conrad and really maintain a close relationship with all the kids.
Hmm.
Okay, picture it. Ready?
Okay.
Picture it. How are we getting there? We're driving,
We're driving
flying.
there
Okay, we're driving.
Mhm.
Where do we go first? We go,
to
you
the
want
house.
to the house? All right,
Or we
bang.
pick up some coffee
Okay, pick up coffee on the way.
and
All right.
bagels.
Ooh,
Or like
coffee.
muffins. We get the muffins.
Oh, yes, coffee and
Muffins.
muffins. All right.
Then we make our way over to the
Make
house.
our way over to the house. We get out, we unload the stuff. And then what's the first thing you want to do? We got the pool, the beach.
We unload the stuff. Did we get groceries?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No. We're gonna eat out that night. Yeah. Where do you want to go? You want to go pool?
Yeah, I think that's really my dilemma right now is like, do we
Mm.
go straight in the pool or do we go like out on the beach? Or do we like pretend I know how to surf and like
All
like
right.
surfboard out?
Yeah.
There's so many things we could do. I
We
mean,
grab the
and
surfboards and
we could
throw
get a
each other in
frisbee
the ocean.
even.
Ooh,
Oh.
that's kind of nice. I like that. You ever play spike
And we
ball?
see a dolphin. We see a
Hmm.
dolphin. Or we see a whale. Oh yeah, we get out there and we see a
Well,
whale.
if we're talking about perfect days, then I want to see a whale and then it like come to me. And I
Ah.
want
Come to you.
no, but then I want it to come to me and be like, Sean, ride me into the ocean. And I'll be
Mom.
like, yes, please take me. And then I ride him and then we go
Ditches
underwater
me.
into
Ditches me during our perfect day.
you go in like the mouth. Like you get like swallowed.
Swallowed.
Yeah, okay, that's you
Okay,
get
I die.
swallowed.
His perfect day is I
All
die.
Okay.
right.
Moby Dick didn't die, so let's just, Anyway, and then we ride to Atlantis and
Okay, well, I don't want to be in the whale.
all right, fine. I'll be in the
That
whale's
part.
mouth. Rain will ride the whale.
Ride the whale.
All right.
I'll
So
ride the
both of you with the whale. That's perfect.
Co-authoring a book for
Hmm.
surviving the summer at Cousin's Beach.
We would never co-author a book.
Right,
I would strangle you.
right. That's true. It would be a rocky start. It would be a rocky start, but maybe they get the blender out. They make a couple of those
Me.
what are those drinks that were made in
Oh, yeah.
season
The
one?
margaritas?
The margaritas, make a couple of margaritas, maybe just start thinking about wear lots of sunblock would be
Yeah.
rule number one, surviving the beach.
Maybe the title would be,
Don't drink the margaritas.
yeah, or put it in the blender. Blend it.
Blend the advice together.
I also think there would be hours of arguments over what the title should be.
That's
Drew gets
true.
credit for it.
Yes. Our characters like to spar
They
with each
do.
other.
But Laurel is the writer, so she would probably handle most of it.
Oh, you're so right. Let me
Oh,
mansplain that for everybody. What she's saying is,
Yeah.
Oh, can't wait for you to see it. Thank you.
bye.